talked about time, we talked about the future, we talked about the past, going forward, coming this way, going that way, getting information from the future. I want to go back to 1995. Not 1985, where Back to the Future started, but 1995. That stage, right there. A young, tiny, scrawny ginger with a mullet went on that stage and tried stand-up comedy for the very first time in his life. Yeah, very first time. And I rehearsed it, and I memorized it, and I got it all polished up, and I got it ready to go, and I went on that stage, and man, oh man, let me tell you, I sucked. Wow. Wow, was I bad. I can't even tell you. In fact, if y'all can just take a deep inhalation right now, take a big, deep breath in. You smell that? You smell that terrible smell? That's me, stinking, 20 years ago. That's how bad it was. The stink of my sketch, of my stand-up set that year is still in the walls of this place. You couldn't get it out no matter how hard my mom and dad try. They won't clean this room of my stink from 20 years ago.
Let's see, I was sitting down, and I got sort of hungry, so I pressed that red button marked lunch. Now they're gone.
That's how bad it was. Now, when I finished my stand-up set, I was a little disappointed, didn't quite go how I thought, and there were two types of reactions when I got down those stairs and went down that hallway and we wrapped up the assembly. And there were two kinds of reactions, one of which was, wow, that was pretty bad. That was pretty terrible. You know, you're not funny, right? You know that? You know that you're not funny? And then there was a second kind of reaction. There was a second kind of reaction, and it was this. Wow, man, that was really something. Clyde McKinty, I can remember him to this day. He came up to me and he said, man, you memorized it, you went up there, you did 6 solid minutes, you didn't give up on it, you remembered every single word, and you got to the end. I could never do that. I always wanted to, I didn't have the courage, but you did, and tip of the cap, sir. And he went on to say, hey man, next time you want to do one of these, let's do it together, let's do a sketch or something. And we did. We did a sketch. It was also terrible, but we did it. We did the sketch. We did it at the next assembly. It was even less funny, but we actually did it. Both those people were not wrong. The person that said that I was terrible and said I wasn't funny and they didn't laugh once, she was right. She didn't laugh once at anything that I said. She's absolutely right. The other person said the nice thing, and that person is actually in this room. She's right there. She's Tara Antler. She's the person who said, you know what, Derek? You have a gift. You're good at this, and you're going to be better. Keep at it. That's what Tara said to me. And guess what? Tara was also being honest to me. She said something that she felt. Both those people, not lying, not making something up, one person decided to focus on the positive thing, and one person decided to focus on the negative thing. And guess what? The person who told me that I wasn't funny, I haven't spoken to this person in 20 years. This person, I don't know anything about her. I don't know what her interests were. I don't know what she was good at. I don't know what she was bad at. I don't know what she wanted to be, or who she wanted to be, or who she should become. I have no idea, because that person never took a chance. That person never took a risk. That person never did stand-up comedy or sketch comedy. I had 6 more minutes of experience than she did at that particular moment. I knew more about stand-up than she did. She never picked up a microphone in her entire life, and yet she was very comfortable to tell me just how funny I wasn't. You see what I'm saying? Here is my point. My point is this. Don't ever be afraid to suck. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to go up on that stage, to grab the mic, to throw it down, and don't be afraid to be awful. Everybody's always afraid of that. What if somebody laughs at me? What if somebody makes fun of me? What if somebody actually takes a shot at me? What if, what if, what if? This is the place where you screw up. This is the place where you make mistakes. This is the place where you try stuff. And this is the place where you should have each other's backs, because we're trying stuff out. And you may find that something really works for you and something really clicks. And you may find something that's just not your cup of tea, but this is the place where you figure that stuff out. Now let's fast forward another 12 years. From 1995, let's go ahead 12 years from that. And here's what happened. Have you ever heard of the show Last Comic Standing by chance? Have you ever heard of that show? That show airs on NBC, and I was on it for, ironically, 6 minutes. Whoa, dude. 6 minutes of airtime I got on a show that is viewed and watched by 6 million people. Whoa, 666, the number of the funny beast, right? Kind of weird.
What do you call a dog with no legs? Doesn't matter, he's not coming. Oh my God!
Even if only 1 person out of 5 thought I was funny on that show, what does that mean? Mathematically, 1 million people laughed at the same time at a joke I told. I went from this stage Sticking up the walls of this gym. 12 years later, I made 1 million people laugh. Don't be afraid to suck, because you will at first. Something I heard this morning before we even got started. I snuck into homeroom today, and you didn't. Maybe some of you saw me. I was hiding away over there. I was tucked in the back of the corner, and I was listening to the homeroom here in the gym. And this is where's Aaron? Aaron was talking about what's in AR. You were explaining what was going to go on for the day, and a couple of you actually uttered, "We're from Mattawa. Who cares? We're from Mattawa. We don't have gold. We can't get anywhere. We can't do anything." Let me tell you why that's a myth. Let me tell you why. You know what? That's not even a myth. That's just a bold-faced lie. Does anybody know what the #1 highest grossing box office movie is of all time? What is the highest grossing movie of all time? Maybe knows what it is. Guardians of the Galaxy is the highest grossing movie of this year, but I'm talking all time of any movie ever made. What is the highest grossing movie of all time? I'll tell you, it is Avatar. What is the second highest grossing movie of all time? Anybody know this? It's about a boat. Anybody know this one?
Titanic.
Titanic is right. Before those two movies were the highest grossing movie of all time, Terminator 2 was the highest grossing movie of all time. Why am I talking about movie trivia? Because the person who made those 3 movies is James Cameron. James Cameron is from Kapuskasing, Ontario. The #1 female who has sold more country albums than any other female in history is Shania Twain, who is from Timmins, Ontario. Thank you very much. The most recognizable game show host of all time, according to a survey in the States, is who? Alex Trebek, who is from where? Sudbury, Ontario. Don't look me in the face and tell me you gotta be from Toronto, you gotta be from Chicago, you gotta be from New York, you gotta be from London, you gotta be from Montreal, Calgary to make something of yourself. No, you don't. You got to be a freak from a small town like all of us, son. That's how you make it. But before you go, you're saying, well, that's all great. Talk about how great we are and we can do anything we want, blah, 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 blah. Ooh, yeah, the world is your oyster and your future isn't written and blah, blah, blah. That's all great. But how do we actually get there? How do we actually do that? All right, I'm going to lay this on you. Here's how you do it. It's 1 word. It's 3 letters. It's 1 syllable. And I'm telling you, hold on, you're close. You're close. You're very close. It's 1 word, and I'm telling you right now, as long as I've been alive, this word has opened more doors for me than I can even begin to count. This word has introduced me to so many people I can't even tell you who they all are. And this word will get you out of any jam. When you're stuck, when you're confused, when you don't have direction, this word will get you out of it. What is this word?
Yes.
It better be good. Yes. That word is ask. A-S-K. Whoa! What does that mean? You want to put, hold on, we're almost there, folks. We got 90 seconds left. You want to put on a battle of bands? Ask for a bass player. You want to put on a concert? Ask for a venue. You want to figure out how to make an app that changes the world and makes you $1 million? Ask somebody who knows how to write code. You want to do anything that you can't do? Ask somebody to help you out. Did Mark Zuckerberg invent Facebook? No, he did not. He asked his friends to help him out. Anybody who got anywhere, anybody who did anything, did not do it by themselves. They asked somebody to help them out. They didn't have every skill they needed, and they asked people to help them get there. So ask, ask, ask. If a group doesn't exist in this school that you want to exist, ask people to join it personally. If something isn't happening, if your phone isn't ringing, if your emails aren't being answered, then you create your own thing. And you create your own thing by asking people to come along with you. That's how you get there. That's how you make Avatar. That's how you make Titanic. That's how you get to the place where you want to be. Now, I just want to say this. We've talked about time a lot today. We went back to 1985. We went forward to the future, which is apparently 2015. We went back to 1995. We went back and forth with time. Time has been the theme of the day today. But I do want to say this. The reason why time is so important, because each and every one of us has no greater resource than time. Your house can burn to the ground. You can lose every possession that you own. Somebody important to you can die before their time. You can lose your entire, anything, any material possession, but the one thing we all have together is time. Having said that, I would like to thank you for some of yours. Have a good day.
I'll see you there.